In this lecture on declaring variables and methods in Visual Basic, the lecturer made a passing reference to a kid's game to clarify the concept she was explaining. Now, I remembered the game immediately. It was Mad Libs, and I played it all the time when I was a kid and had a lot of fun with it. But I wasn't sure if a diverse audience would get the comparison. So I decided to include a mini version of the game in the presentation. So what I did is I wrote up how the game is played, and I showed them you have to come up with a boy's name, an object, a body part, and a verb, and I added text entry boxes for them to write their answers in. So if you go to the top, I just clicked on text and added a text entry box. And you'll notice that once you create a text entry box, a variable is automatically created. And I took these variables and then I added them in parts of a story that I wrote. This is a very, very short story that would help them to understand the concept, but not be too tedious and not take too much away from the lecture itself. So I made this story initially hidden so that they wouldn't see it until they had entered all of their text and clicked on Read My Story. So this is how it worked. Came to this point in the lecture. She makes that reference to Mad Libs, but never explains it. So here's the little game. A popular children's game illustrates this concept. Type a word in each text box, then click Read My Story for the outcome. So let's fill this in. A boy's name. Let's do Barry. An object. Let's take a DVD. Good body part. Might be the pinky. And a verb. Let's do something gross that a student might write and do vomit. And when we read my story, one sunny afternoon, Barry was so annoyed with his brother that he threw his DVD and hit him in the pinky, which immediately made him vomit. And now they understand how this kid's game was played, and they also understand the example that was given in the lecture. So that's how I did it. A fun little game using text entry boxes.